It's a very difficult decision that senior leadership need to take. That is, which cloud best suited for their server workloads. Instead of going to the a single cloud provider, there is options to go with the multiple cloud provider. That is come in the concepts came in place called multi-cloud strategy or multi-cloud solutions. Hey there, this is Alok, and today I'm going to talk on multi-cloud strategy. Now let's talk what is multi-cloud strategy. A multi-cloud strategy basically actually you deploy or migrate your server workload instead of one service cloud service provider, you migrate or move your workload to the different cloud service provider. That is, that suits your needs and requirements, that suits your business needs, customer expectations. A multi-cloud strategy include infrastructure as a solution, platform as a solutions, as well as software as a solutions. That these different type of services is either tightly coupled or loosely coupled. That all comprises of your part of multi-cloud strategy. A multi-cloud architecture is when organizations planning to move their workload instead of one public or private service provider, cloud service provider, they move their workload based on the optimum performance, cost, and strategy along with the different compliances and the data availability, including the disaster recovery. Those all factors actually impact to make a decisions to go with the multi-cloud strategy. Now, what is the primary objective of multi-cloud strategy? The major one is it actually avoid the vendor locking. Situation is may arise in the future that you have to move your workload from one service provider to another because of the cost is keep rising. When you have a multi-cloud strategy, and data is actually moving from from one place to the different cloud service provider, you have options to you can avoid this vendor locking strategy because of your workload or your business processes or your apps is not rely on single service provider. It actually also help you to optimize your workload placements. So based on the compute or like type of services you need for the from the cloud providers and vendors, you actually optimize your workload either for your data storage, your compute, or your file transfer, or everything. Similarly, it actually help you to disaster recovery and anything. Let's suppose in some of the places disaster strike and you want to get it recover as soon as possible because of cloud actually distributed along with the different geographical locations, it actually help you to get it the recovery of your workload quickly, which is quite not possible in case of on-premises. So most of the cloud service provider actually have a well-defined processes in place to recover when the disaster strikes. Along with that, there is an improvement in the performance as well as scalability options available with the different cloud providers. There is another that is a very good decision that is go for the multi-cloud strategy because of in these days, most of the global business actually doing businesses across the different geographical locations and their government actually different part of the world, each countries have own their data governance rules. And the primarily is actually here, primarily involved that their data center should be in that geographical locations. If you go with the single cloud provider, there are chances of their data center is not available, so they cannot store their local data or that geographical region data for their customer or their transactions in that location. If you have a multi-cloud strategy and in that particular locations, a particular cloud provider is data centers exists on that geographical location, In that case, it will help you to complying with your local government data compliance strategy. So these are the objective of the multi-cloud strategy. Now I'm going to talk on benefits regarding this. So as you have a flexibility to adopt to move or migrate your workload according to the your resources needs, performance optimize, and the cost also. The benefit, whether is the vendor lock-in, it actually avoid the vendor lock-in options. Very easy to recover when disasters strike. Very very optimized way to your manage your cost because of you choose your services from the different cloud providers based on the what offering in particular pricing model. Enhanced performance as well as availability, access to the best of breed services because you are comparing different cloud services, cloud provider and their services based on needs and their best in class or best of breeds of services. So like for example, if you have a real-time monitoring thing, if you have any logistics system and you want it to track in real time, the best option is to go with the Google Cloud because it's best in class. Similarly, if you have wanted to have a compliance issues or if you want to have a complaint with your data and your business operations with the local government, then AWS is the best in class for regulatory compliances. Now, these are the benefits. Along with the benefits, there are challenges also exist with the multi-cloud stacks. The major challenge is you rarely find such a skill set or the professional who has multi-cloud skill. That means if you have a you cannot find such people who has a good in AWS, good in Azure, good in cloud, Google Cloud. So it's a very difficult to find such a rarer skill set, the persons or professionals who has a all uh, combination of these providers or cloud service skill set that they will able to judge you or provide you accurate knowledge which workload to be moved on that on which one is the best cloud provider. Along with that, rare skill set needs you have a very difficult to manage the cost because each cloud provider has own costing and the pricing model. And it's very difficult and very important to keep track of their pricing model. Securities also exist, security compliance, we also align with that. Along with that, limited operability between the communicating data from one service provider to another service provider is one of the challenges and complex data governance. So these are basically the challenges of multi-cloud. Let me give you some example and the use case for the finance industry. They actually adopted. These are the actually hypothetical case, so don't consider actual case. But let me give you example of finance industry that financial data they actually keep wanted to financial data very insecure place. Along with that, they wanted to detect the fraud detections. So in this case, for the financial institutions, they can use the AWS for secure their financial data, and they can use the AWS for analytics. So in this way, they can achieve the compliances with financial compliances and along with that, improve the fraud detections. Another use case that I'm going to talk on the healthcare industry that hospital uses Google Cloud for patient data analytics and IBM Cloud for secure patient record. In this way, they enhance the patient's outcomes along with ensure the HIPAA compliances. Another use case that I'm going to talk on that is retail industry. A retail industry that is uses Oracle Cloud SCM model, which is best in class for supply chain management, and the AWS for the e-commerce platform. Here, the supply chain model, basically inventory is a very crucial part of retail industry. So Oracle Cloud is a best of breeds in this supply chain business domain. And the AWS actually best in class to customer facing applications. In this way, they reduce the logistic delays and improve the customer experience. The last use case that is for logistic industry in which a shipping company may use Azure for route optimizations that need the calculations and the huge compute power to get the best route option, and the Google Cloud for the real-time tracking. In this way, the logistic industry, what they get, they will improve the delivery accuracy along with the operational efficiencies. So you just saw the difference industry and their multi-cloud strategy. Here is a summary of those all industry and their multi-cloud provider options along with the objectives and the outcomes. I hope you like this video. Feel free to comment and let me know what thing you need in the next sessions. Thank you for watching this.